Hello, I hope you guys can hear me, can see me. If you don't mind letting me know whether you can see me and hear me, that would be great. Let's see. Yes, you can. I saw Savage say hi. Just anyone, definitely let me know if you can hear me or see me. Because I obviously cannot tell. I know I'm on like a little bit. Yes, okay, cool. Great. Thank you. I always worry that you can, and I'm like, I know there's like I mean, I think the delay is literally like 15 seconds or something. It's normally like when I was doing it before without the streaming software, it was immediate. But with the software, there's some sort of delay, but it's only a few seconds. But hello, everyone out there. Hi, Gloriana. Hi, Sonia. Hi, Savage. Hi, Helen. Hi, Suze. Hi, Molly. Hi, Rosette. Missed some people at the start, I think. Hi, Nakia. Hi, Follette. Hi, Brenda. Think about everyone who's in the chat, and hi to everyone who just comes in, is like incognito in the background, just here for the news. So one, apologies if you can hear the wind because oh my gosh, today we have had like a blizzard on the Isle of Man. It's the snow. I went out to just like the shop, and it was probably about 11:30, and it started to snow. And on my way back, I like just got back in time because like my driveway, it's like a little hill. And then I also live on a hill. You guys know the waters here. I'll put like a video or something on one of my social medias later because the waves and the wind and oh my gosh, and there's loads of snow. Like I wouldn't go out right because like I drive one of those little like sports car coupes, so it's not good for driving in the snow. So I definitely wouldn't go out right now because there's a lot of snow. And also my heat broke, and I told my landlord yesterday, and they had someone come out, but they couldn't fix it, so they have to fix it on Monday. So I have like a little heater here so hopefully you guys can. It's really quiet, it only makes like a tiny little noise, so hopefully between the wind and the heater that it's still okay to hear me. And I got my hair cut last Saturday. It's a little bit short, but I was like, whatever. So I had to get rid of the grays. But so, Elwood. Okay, let me see what you guys are saying. Oh, my date was good. She made dinner for me and stuff, and I think we were gonna watch something, but we always end up just like chatting and talking, which is really nice. And as you know, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, so I'm going to hers again for dinner if I can get out of my house, that is, because the Isle of Man, like, it's a really small island, and whereas in, like when I lived in New York and stuff, if there was snow, they just cleared the roads and you were fine. But the Isle of Man, I think we only have like one gritter, and also, hey Kira, the other problem is the road that I live on is like, I live in like a really old little village, so the gritter can't get down it and stuff, so yeah, it might be a little bit stuck. When it snowed really bad here in 2013, my family had like a house like out in the country, like where the Isle of Man has the world's longest and most continuous parliament in the world, and the Isle of Man was also the first place to give women the vote. So don't say I never taught you guys anything. And we used to live next to that, and my brother and I one time got snowed in there, and we were stuck in there for 3 days, and the farmer had to come with his tractor and like because it was a really long driveway. So yeah, but anyway, let's talk L word. Let's talk L word. Which one will we start with? Tammy told me that she can make it till maybe later. I think she has something else to do, but she said she might be able to make it later depending how long we're on for. So let me see. Okay. Most of these pictures, I'm sure everyone's seen them. And I know that last week when we were on the live last Friday, Jennifer Beals posted that red mask one. So let me just put these over here. So, but I mean, we had the one that Laurel posted this week. That's in there too, and as I'm sure a lot of people saw on social media, that Rosie now she has left and she's gone back to New York, and yeah, like she's wrapped everything, and I mean, I'm really interested to know whether I think maybe that was them with Rosie, with whether they'll have wrapped episodes 1, 2, and 3, or 4, 5, and 6, because we know that Rosie was only in 3 episodes, so it does seem like they're going to be filming for this 8 months. So November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So that would put them finishing. Hi G. What's wrong? I've put your pillow there for you. It's ready. You want to say hi? Come say hi. Say hi, everyone. Are you sleepy? You want to sit there next to me then? She's got her little pillow set up here for because when I set like my seat up for the stream, I always like set her seat up for her too, but she's been lying like right next to the heater, so she's all warm. But what was I saying? Yeah, so it definitely does seem as though, I'll show you guys some like behind the scenes pictures that some of the crew put up in a minute, and it just definitely seems like they're going to be filming for these 8 months, which I mean last year Miss G says hi, she's such a cutie. Last year when I guess actually no, the year before because now it's been well over a year since we haven't had the show, but when they wrapped season 1, they filmed it from July 2019 until November 2019, and then obviously we got the show in December. So if they finished filming in end of May, beginning of June, they could they could get the show up for July, but I've said this before too. I just do not think that they'll show the show over the summer, because there's, like, it's just not what Showtime does. And the other thing that I'm worried about that makes me think that they might push the show, or just not schedule it until the fall, or like even I really don't want them to wait all the way till December, is that the show Dexter, oh sorry guys, the show Dexter that was on, like, there was a time that Dexter and the L Word were on at the same time, and the L Word is one of Showtime's, most viewed shows, most popular shows, but Dexter was its most viewed show. So I think, like, when they were on together, like, Dexter was number one and Showtime was number two. The L Word was number two. So Dexter has been rebooted this year, exactly like the L Word was last, or the year before last, and they're filming Dexter right now. They started filming it like the beginning of the year, but I think it's only going to be, Dexter's only going to be 8 episodes, and it doesn't seem as though maybe it's a lot of like the special scenes that make the L Word, but it really seems like the article I read about Dexter had their filming wrapping in like end of April, May, so it seems like they'll be wrapping just a tiny bit before the L Word, and because they've only got 8 episodes, like, their editing and all the production stuff afterwards will not take as long as the L Word. So if they wanted to put Dexter, I mean, like, they can show 2 things at once, but the other thing is that historically, like, because I really like Dexter too, and it was on for 8 seasons, and for the 8 seasons it was on a Sunday night at 9 o'clock, and the L Word's on Sunday nights too. So, hi Liz. So they'd clash. So the thing is, will it happen with Showtime where Dexter and the L Word are both ready to go, and they have to make a decision about who gets the first spot of it's only, Dexter would only be on for 2 months, it's only 8 episodes, but if they wait till September and then they give, I don't know, say Dexter starts the second week in September, and then it's October, November, and they never really like end a show and then start it the next week. So imagine if then the L Word isn't until December because they put Dexter in. I know that's not great news, but I was just thinking about it. Savage, I did see when I came onto the thing before to check it that I saw you in there today. I was like, oh no, she was in there. So I don't know what anybody thinks about that, but yeah, that's like just a thing in the back of my mind at the moment that I'm thinking like, oh gosh, I really hope that we don't, get into that situation, because it would be so awful to have to wait till December. But surely they wouldn't do that, because the other thing is, like, if they finish filming in May or June, I have my L Word shirt on too. That would put them in a weird position for filming season 3, because if we would have to wait until December, it would be really weird because they would start filming season 3. Well, actually, no, because I just don't think it would work, because normally, like, an episode at least has to, like, back in the day when the original L Word was on, they always used to renew it after, like, 1 or 2 episodes had aired. And I know they didn't renew Generation Q until episode 6, but I don't really know the reasoning behind that. I don't know whether they purposely waited to announce it because of knowing what a big deal it would be that Laura Holloman was coming on. But it would be really weird then if they did wait to show the show until way later in the year, because then they'd have to wait even longer, and then that means that they wouldn't start filming season 3 until like the same time that they're filming like for season 2, whereas before they were doing like July to November. Then they'd be making this like November to May or whatever it is that they're doing at the moment. So let's see what you guys are wearing. Chrisana and I don't know. Oh, do you mean Leisha and Kate? Yeah, they said that we know that they're wrapping in June. They'll be wrapped by June. So yeah, they're free to go and do whatever they want after that. Like, it's just a matter of when the show has to start airing for them to be able to renew the show for season 3. So once they wrap in June, I mean, technically they don't even know whether they will go back to filming, because they don't know whether they're going to get a season 3. I would be really surprised if they didn't get a season 3, especially after all this rubbish with filming and changing, because like you have to think about all these actresses and actors that this time that they're filming the L Word is not L Word time. So they could have other jobs or other things going on, and just because of the way the world is, I really think that we'll get another season. Like, we'll get season 3 at least, because it would make no sense after they've like I talked about last week, how that other Showtime show with Kirsten Dunst, How to Become a God in Central Florida, that got renewed, and then after 8 months or whatever it was, they turned around and they said the way the world is, because of the thing, apparently, or we're not really supposed to say it on here apparently on YouTube, but they then turned around and cancelled the show because they were like, it's not worth it to keep all these people under contract, to keep setting up filming times, cancelling filming times, changing this, changing that, changing all these things. So it wasn't worth it for them. That was a new show too, that had only had 1 season. But with the L Word, they obviously know, like, it's not a real first season show. Like, there's all this other stuff behind it, and there's also a huge fan base, because the thing is, with normal shows, when they're on their first season, it's really early days and they don't have a strong fan base. They have, like, I like the show, that Central Florida show, but I didn't feel like super attached to it because I'd only seen 8 episodes. So that is a big factor too, that like there is this big fan base of people that will support them and will, no matter how much time has passed, will still go and watch the show, and we'll still talk about it and go and buy merch and all these other things. So that is like a big part of it, because you look at Showtime and the things that they're greenlighting at the moment and that they're really putting a lot of money behind is the Word and Dexter. Those are the two shows that are filming at the moment, and guess what? Both of them are reboots, and both of them have enormous fan bases that they can depend on, who will go and watch the show no matter how much time has passed. Why is Micah with Rosie in that photo? Oh, it's just like a picture on set. Just, he probably wanted to take, like, I know that the actor who plays Micah, well, like they all get along. Like they're all friends. Like if you look in Rosie O'Donnell, like the pictures she took on the plane, you know, even like I think Jacqueline Tobani, loads of them were saying, "Oh, we miss you already," and things. You know, like when you're on a set, and even more so now, where a lot of them, like I know Leo Sheng, he lives in a house with like a load of housemates, but because he's filming, he's staying in like an apartment by himself. And I'm pretty sure Laura Holloman isn't going home with her family. She's staying in like an apartment by herself too, just for that extra layer of like, she doesn't, you know, she's going to a set and interacting with a lot of people, doesn't want to go home and, you know, potentially be around her family and stuff. So it's very much like you're working very long hours, and especially what they're going through at the moment with everything, like you become really good friends and like, you know, close. So I'm sure they had, judging by the comments on social media, a really great time. But I also know that Leo Sheng, his parents are a lesbian couple, so I'm sure they're fans of Rosie O'Donnell, because they're probably around about Rosie's age. So I know it could be something as innocent as, you know, taking that picture and sending it to his mom's. Let's see what else you guys have said. Suze, yeah, they have to, like whenever you're a series regular, your contract will include things like going to the show premiere, going to a certain amount of interviews, doing magazines, going on, you know, The View and whatever daytime, you know, Good Morning America, all things like that. So they build those things in, and they know, like, especially like series regulars, like the leads, they'll have to do that. And there'll be one, like, there's different levels. So you'll have people like Jennifer, Kate, and Leisha, who were the original faces and our executive producers, our leads. And so last year when the show was coming back, they were the ones that did most of the marketing, because those are the people that we knew. Whereas this year, you'll see a lot more of the actresses who play Dani and Sophie and all that, because they'll be wanting to bring them out more now that, like, we know them and we've had a season of them. Matt, did they ever have any Xmas or Halloween episodes of the L Word? They could do some creative stories if they did. They have never actually acknowledged any passage of time on the L Word. Like, seriously, you never know what time of year it is. They never even really, like, imply there's any sort of timeline. Like, we vaguely know, you know, if you look at the season 3 finale, it's clear between the penultimate episode and the last episode that there is a passage of time of about a month between them, you know, saying, okay, we're going to go up to Canada for Shane's wedding and blah, blah, blah. But, and then there are other seasons that it's like the whole season seems to take place over a few weeks. And then between seasons, you're never really given any, you know, knowledge of how much time is passing or what's going on. But it's kind of like a joke at this stage because it's just the way they are. Like, you never know. Like, I'm sure when the show comes back, we won't really have any indication of time either. And even the first season, like, you have no idea. I know that obviously Bette's running a campaign, but the first season of Gen Q, it can't really take place over more than a few weeks because, you know, Bette is in this election and what's going on. And even like episode 6 and 7 and 8, really, they all seem like they're taking place over a few days. So they're really hard, but that is the case for most Showtime shows and HBO shows, that it's not like a regular series where, you know, they try and stick to actual time, like Grey's Anatomy and stuff, or, well, that kind of jumps around a bit, but where you'd look at really traditional shows like Friends, where they are trying to mirror the real world, or The Office, and they will film like their Thanksgiving and Christmas episodes, they'll film them in September because they show them literally at Thanksgiving, at Christmas, at New Year's, you know, on St. Patrick's Day and things like this, because they want to emulate the real world and make the use of, you know, at Christmas time you want to go back and watch all the Christmas episodes and things like that. Rosette, why is Bette wearing a wedding ring? It's not her husband's ring. Yeah, a couple of people have, well, pointed this out. I'm pretty sure it's not Jennifer Beals' ring, and but also, I mean, it's hard to say if it is actually a wedding ring or not, because she has like quite a lot of, let me see if I can bring up, she has quite a lot of rings on in the picture. And I mean, I know that I do what, like, sometimes I'll have a ring on this finger because, like, sometimes to me I'm like, everyone knows I'm gay and everyone knows that I'm not married. And I used to think this way, like, even before gay marriage was legal. Like, I have, you know, my mum's engagement ring, and it's a really nice, you know, big diamond ring. So sometimes I wear it, but everyone knows it's my mum's ring and it's not like my ring. So, or sometimes I just wear, like, you know, normal, I have like stacked rings that I just like the look of them, or I have ones that are like bands that they all are like similar, and I have like one of those Cartier ones and stuff, and I just wear them because that's the finger they fit. So I don't know if it 100% is a wedding ring, and I would let me see if I can bring it up properly. I would really like to think that they're doing some sort of flashback episode, but I don't know. They I want to have faith and want to think that, but then I'm just like, oh, I know that they're, you know, limited on the amount of time they have Laurel and limited on a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, see, it, because they're all very the ring she has on is all really similar, but the only thing that I'm for sure that it's not Jennifer Beals ring is because she has Bette's watch on, Bette's Cartier watch, and that's not the watch the Jennifer Beals wears like in real life. Like she doesn't really normally wear a watch, but that's 100% Bette's watch. So she is like in costume, if that makes sense. Oh my gosh, sorry about that loud noise, guys. Let me see what else he's saying. How do I feel about Gigi and Dani? I will talk about that in a minute for sure. Sue said, so if it will air around September, then they would be at home, so I guess they would not air in September. So let's say it will be. Well, the only thing is all that prep and interviews and things like that, they normally do it before it airs. So technically they could do their trip in September, and they're not sitting probably thinking about that way either. But those weeks where they call it a press tour, normally say the season's going to start on the 1st of October, they'll do all that September wise, so they could technically still air that time. It's just, and especially now with the fact that no one's going into buildings to be interviewed. No one's going, and sitting in studios with audiences and things. Everything is going online and stuff. And I know last year they did, I think Leisha and Kate did an interview on the YouTuber, I think her name's Amber. And then there was Jennifer went on someone else's channel because it pops up all the time. And I'm like, maybe in like season 27 they'll come on my channel. But yeah. Oh yeah, Savage, I wear my watch on my right hand too. Oh hey Tammy, you made it. Sorry, I'm a little bit behind in the chat. God, the wind is so wild right now. Like, I can feel I have like all that glass there. I can like feel it shaking. Okay, so let's talk about Gigi and Dani. Let me shrink this. They actually, I'm gonna put up some of the behind the scenes. Oh, sugar. Stop. see that, like, when they were filming this week, they were filming right by the Staples Center, and then they had this, like, there's the pictures here, like they'll come up in a sec, where Gigi and Dani were filming, and there's like the skyline in the background. There was some really cool, I've never seen it before, but like they were, so there's, well, I can just show you on here. I don't know why I'm trying to explain it to you. Let me show you. Yeah, see the pictures where they're all standing, and it's like the big glass, like that. There's like this really cool, like enormous rainbow, like ribbon thing that's near there. But see, there's the Staples Center in LA, and I mean, there's been, and maybe the actresses who play Dani and Gigi just like really get on too, because they have posted a lot together. But the thing that makes me think that they're in a lot of scenes together too is because, again, like the situation with filming, people are only on set and there if they are filming, like, and it's not like there's people waiting for the next scene or whatever. Like, it's very minimalistic now, so they must be having a lot of scenes together. And as I've said like a lot now, I'm all about Dani and Gigi, and yeah, they are definitely a Generation Q ship that I can get behind. So let me know in the chat, do Y for yes if you're a Diggy shipper, or N for no if you're not a Diggy shipper. That's all you have to put, Y or yes. Tammy said they did not really interact in the first season, did they, Gigi and Dani? No, I think I was thinking about this the other day, and apart from, no, I don't even think she was, I don't recall there even being a situation where they were in the same like vicinity, because Gigi was only around anyone that basically wasn't Alice or Nat. Look at all these Y's. Yes. Everyone is all for Diggy. Gloriana, no, Diggy, no. But the scene where they, Alice, Nat, I wanted to say Diggy then, Gigi, Bette and Shane went to Angie's play, but obviously Dani wasn't there. And then for Bette's, the results party, but Gigi wasn't there either, because, all that situation was going on with the throuple then. So I don't think that there was any interaction with them. My sister. Eileen, you called it. There you go. That was the situation. I couldn't remember. Yes, Shane's birthday. I think I didn't think of that, because when I think about Shane's birthday, all I see like in my mind is the throuple. So I wasn't thinking about that. But yes, very true. Good call, Eileen. Hey SL Watson, sorry, Wallace, and hey Chelsea, Yeah, I had like my big group of friends. We always do dinner at the end of the month, every month, and there's a new restaurant in one of the towns here that's opened up. It's a new Japanese restaurant, and we were like, we always try and go the last Saturday of the month, but we could only get into this restaurant, and we booked this in seriously like December. We could only get in because there was 12 of us into this restaurant on this specific date. So um, that's why I had to change the live to today. But it was really good, the restaurant. So yeah, I think we've got some Diggy fans. I know that it should probably be pronounced DG, but I just like saying Diggy. What do you think, G? Mm-hmm. G's all for it. So one of the other things that I wanted to talk about was I have a mission for everyone. Gigi and Nat getting back together and being exclusive. Where would that leave Alice? She would be brokenhearted. That's why I think that the answer is clearly Diggy. I think that Gigi and Dani would be such a great couple. Like, boss babes, or whatever they're called. Yeah, that is true, Tammy. They're always posting pictures together, the two of them. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that, Suze. Whenever I was saying that about going to the restaurant, yeah, like we don't have to. And it's so funny because this place, this restaurant was like really small. There was only our table and two other tables, and there's my dad knows there's this couple that was there. This one guy that my dad knows that he's like a billionaire, and then he got married recently to this woman called Michelle. I can't remember her last name, and she's like a lingerie mogul, and she's on Michelle Mone, that's her name. She's on like Good Morning Britain and a lot of things like that sometimes. So she was in the restaurant yesterday, and then the other table was my dad's lawyer, and that was it. I was like the three tables in there. I knew everyone. Oh, bye, Molly. What's wrong, G? Yeah, I think that the actress who plays Sophie, I think that she well, maybe not deleted, but that she's not on Instagram or like any social media at the moment. No, Fearful Nature. I'm not really a Sophie and Dani fan either. It's like the front door is being opened and it's like making like a weird noise against the door. Oh, okay, so did anybody see this about the Pants podcast? They want us to call. You know that I'm gonna call. But I'm gonna call, and I need to do, because you only have 3 minutes, so I need to make a 3 minute pitch as to why they should go on my channel. I'm sure that it's obviously like it'll be their staff, or the people who answer the emails that will be listening to it and stuff, but I'm gonna have to have a really good think about it and make a good pitch. But if anybody is fancying giving it a ring, don't be afraid to drop in. You should go on the L Word channel with Ash Silver, and maybe we can get them on the channel. I'm sure it'll be next to impossible, but who knows? Who knows? So yeah, pretty much that there hasn't been anything else this week apart from anyone. Hi Deb. The casting that I talked about last week, in case anyone wasn't here. We still have the that new actress Carolina Gutierrez that's going to be in 3 episodes, but we don't know. Hi Abe. But we don't know what character she's going to be playing, but 3 episodes, I'd be, she's going to have like a pretty decent storyline, or be maybe like a love interest for someone. And like obviously everybody knows about Rosie and Donald and Griffin, and then the younger actress who's going to be playing Kayla Allenwood, and I think and the other actress, the Chloe, that's going to be playing her. But all the rest of them only say that they're going to be in 1 episode. But I don't know if you guys have any other questions or things that you want to talk about, because apart from pictures, there hasn't really been a lot. Pictures and the locations. I thought I had that picture with the really cool. It's like the same thing where like the picture that I showed with the LA Staples Center. It's like that, but there's like this big metallic like rainbow ribbon that's like going over some of the buildings. It's really cool. I'll find it and I'll share it on Twitter or something. But that mostly seems to be all in about where they're filming this week, because that place where the windows are, in that little like slideshow thing where it says L Word Crew Park on level 3, that is all like connected. So they were in there like filming for quite a bit. Like it looks like an apartment building. There may be offices in it too, but maybe Gigi and Dani are U-hauling it and moving it together. Chelsea, I really feel like we'll get an OG cast member surprise. I really hope so. The only reason I would give them like a benefit of a doubt is just because of the situation in the world right now. Like, they could have had every intention to have Rachel Shelley come back this season, but just because of like travel and the way things are, like it just might not be that she can't leave. Robin, what was with Tina's hair? It looked like that thing that that is like on every single set I've ever worked on. They put that white thing like around like this, and then they put it over your hair too. It's just to protect everything from when they're doing your makeup. So it's just like a really, like every single person who ever gets their makeup, they do that, and then literally right before they start rolling, they just tear it off. So I don't know, guys, unless you have any questions or thoughts or anything. Probably a short one tonight, as outside of the pictures there really ain't a lot going on this week. Fearful Nature, she's going to be in obviously the season and the episodes, but Rosie O'Donnell has said she's going to be in Rosie is going to be in 3 episodes. So I'm pretty confident in saying Laurel is going to be in at least 3 episodes. I would think she'd be in more. It's just a matter of how many. I don't think it's going to be any more. That, like, if she was in 8, 9, 10, they'd make her a series regular. So it's probably going to sit somewhere between like 4 or 5 episodes, but at least 3 episodes. Oh, hey, Kelly. We pretty much were just looking at like all the different pictures that came out this week. There really hasn't been a huge amount of news. Obviously, like the last couple of weeks that I've done my live, there's been, even just like new bits of info casting wise. But this week we did get like a decent amount of pictures this week, but there hasn't been a huge amount of news. So I'll just make the pictures so that you can at least see. This one. Shrink this pants one down. Oh no, it's not gonna work. Oh yeah, Kelly, I was just saying something like about that. Said I'm really curious at how they are thinking after the fans have stewed for a year. I was saying about the fact that pretty much one of the only Showtime shows that's filming exactly the same time as the L Word is the reboot of Dexter, and that's going to be a big thing when it comes back. But also the fact that How to Be a God in Central Florida, that was on its first season, the same as the L Word, and it got renewed. But then because of this, the whole situation with the way the world is, they ended up retroactively cancelling it because it has been such a long period of time. And I think the thing that saved the L Word was the fact that a new show has a brand new fan base, and it's a very limited fan base because there's only been one season. But with the L Word, you know, they have all of us from the original show. So I think that that's why, you know, with Dexter and the L Word, that's why Showtime is like the main focus for them at the moment, because the fan base from those original shows is so big and so strong, and they know no matter what that we are going to, even if we have to wait whatever, 2 years, we will come back and watch the next season and still be talking about it and stuff. But just to be like completely transparent with you guys, this week, like, I did those few other videos on my channel because I am really, really, really getting to the end with the retro reviews. And I remember when I started doing the retro reviews of the original L Word, in my head I was like, oh, I bet that, by the time I get to like season 3, season 4, Generation Q season 2 will be back. So I was thinking like, oh, I can keep these retro reviews going basically until season 3 of Generation Q. And I'm literally nearly finished. Like, I'm gonna do season 6 episode 1 this weekend, and then I only have 7 more weeks. So it's just, I mean, and when there's no information and they're being so tight-lipped, because I really don't see them releasing anything like trailer, whatever, until they're very, very close to being finished filming, or even finish filming, because I think they're so worried about being shut down. But it's like, I just wish they would give us something. Like, it's been over a year, and yeah, even just like a tiny little teaser, like it's just a really long time to go with nothing. Let's see what you guys said. Kelly said, what are your thoughts about how the show is posting on social media? Do you mean like the actresses and the crew, or do you mean like the actual like Showtime controlled accounts? Because the actresses and the crew, my personal thought is that they are not, I don't want to say not allowed, but I think that it's just been said not to really post a lot. And the other thing is, like, maybe they don't have time, or we don't know what their protocols are. There could be something like, don't bring your phone out of your trailer because we don't, like, a phone is like a germ hub, or we don't want people touching the phone and then touching there could be a million reasons like that. Or it could just be, we don't want people on their phones, or we don't want people posting things from the set. I mean, it's really hard to like swallow that, because so many other shows like Grey's Anatomy, like, one of the actors literally will be like filming on the set and being like, this is the hair and makeup trailer, and then this is me waiting to film my scene with, blah blah blah. So I just, with no information, and like, we're so hella loyal, I just wish that they would give us something. But unfortunately, I'm not in charge of the show. And if it's the Showtime controlled accounts, all I think is what a waste, because they don't really do anything with the accounts, and I just think it's a waste. Like, I think that they could do so much, and they have, like, I was looking the day before yesterday because I was just like looking at my own social media and stuff, and like, it's hard growing a channel, and what's even harder is growing a channel when the content you talk about, there's nothing, and there's nothing for over a year, and it's really, really hard. And that's why it's like, even when I look at my stats and stuff, like, only 40% of the people who watch my channel subscribe to it, but there's people who come and watch the videos every time, and it's like, it's just odd. But it's really hard growing and trying to, do new things and make content out of nothing. And those Showtime accounts, they have like the Showtime account on Instagram, the official L Word one, has 171,000 followers, and the last post on it is from October 15th, and pretty much, and the one of the posts before that is like May. Like, they're doing nothing with it, and I just think, oh my god, like, what a waste, and what you could do with all of that. So I hope that answered your question. Sorry, it was a bit of a all over the place answer. Oh, hang on, I lost my place. Oh, I see you wrote here the Showtime ones, Kelly. Yeah, I also think, like, that the person running the Showtime account has not watched the like, I don't, like, the other day, I really don't. I mean, I think that it's probably someone who, I don't know, I don't want to make assumptions about the person, but I also think that it's probably not just one person, that maybe there's accounts like that normally have like a few people, and it just, I think that I mean, it's, of course, like, there's some people, like, my whole thing is, like, my channel, I like to be positive. I don't want any, like, shit talking. I don't want anyone, that the cast have made it clear they want to be private people. Like, I'm fine with that. I'm all about, I want to talk about the show, build it up. You guys are my friends. I want to talk to you. That's the main point of my channel, is like having a good little group. Of course, I would like it to be big, but of all of us talking about something that we love. There are people, there are YouTubers, there are Instagram people that they aren't really interested in that. They're interested in getting as much views as possible. And the thing is, like, a lot of this, and this goes for social media in general, is it's all about attention. Like, of course, doing this, like, to some degree, you do want attention. Like, the reason anyone goes on social media to some degree is they want attention, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like, we all need attention, but the people who value clicks and views and things over the decency of people, they will just go on and say the most controversial, wild thing, because people will go and click and watch because it's controversial. Like, more so, if you had someone who, like, I know there's no one else who really is like my channel. Like, the, you know, if you go and look at Grey's Anatomy, there's like 50 people who talk about Grey's and do Grey's Anatomy reviews and everything like that. But if you had me, who's just, you know, like, I never really say anything too bad about anyone. I mean, oh, Miss G's coming in here. I give my thoughts, I give my feelings, you know, I'm pretty open about everything, and I do, like, I'm pretty open about my own life and stuff too. But if you had someone who was basically doing the same as me, like, wants to be an L word channel, and they were coming on here and saying really controversial things, like, you know, maybe really something controversial about men or about trans people or about anything, they're going to get way more views than me, because people are drawn to controversy and drawn to that. So this is my really long roundabout way of saying that there's a reason that those Showtime accounts wake up every day and choose chaos, because it gets clicks and views. And they know I'm really going to push these people's button, and I'm going to say not even something controversial, something wrong about Bette and Tina. Like, say they said, oh, Bette and Tina were only together for 2 years. They know that all of us are going to be like, that's not actually true. Like, so they want to do that to get a reaction out of us. And that's why, even though sometimes I'm like, I think that the people who run the account haven't watched the show, sometimes I'm like, maybe they're playing it this way for attention, for clicks, for views, because it's not a person's account, it's a company's account. I hope that makes sense. And it is kind of obvious that they're not, like, you never see them, they don't even really support, like, the actresses and stuff, or the crew. Like, you never see them tweeting, like, one of the writers, I think her name's Regina, I can't remember, is it King? But anyway, she got a new show, or even if, like, Laurel's doing an art, like, you never see them go on and share and say, hey, what, like, you should look at a network or look at a show as, you know, like, I don't want to say a family, but, like, it's a group that you're a part of. And other shows, like, they will go on and say, hey, like, one of the actresses has got a new part in this, or one of the writers has got a new show, and share it. And it's just odd that they don't do that, like, at all. Like, I talk about stuff more than they would, or even stuff like, you know, there's been things that they've asked for, not even attention wise, like, not even wanting to share about an actress's role or someone's new show or something like that, but sharing for a good cause. Like, last week, it was last week, when Jennifer Beals is like, oh, I want people to donate to the American Heart Association. Like, we were on the live, you guys were there, and we donated on the live, so that, I mean, I know that, like, you know, the show and the cast and Jennifer Beals is never going to see that, but it's good for my channel and for the people who do see it. So, because that's the image that I want to portray and that I want my channel to be known for, not for controversy and, you know, whatever's going on sometimes on the Showtime accounts. Oh gosh, lost my place again. Oh, it is Regina King. Yeah, cool. Any other questions or thoughts, guys? You can just talk about random. I think Miss G is very concerned about the wind right now. She's like staring at the... It's alright. Just the wind. Hey? Just the wind. You cold? No, you're roasting hot. You must have been lying by the heater, did you? Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'll probably wrap up. Unless there's anything else that you want me to talk about. Kelly said, to be honest, I never in a million years would have thought the show would come back with the approach they have. Yeah, to be honest, I mean, it is very difficult to make a show. Not everyone's gonna be happy, etc. But I do, even just the very basis alone of having such a huge cast, I find an odd approach, because I mean, I think anyone who even watched the original show just once through, it's very easy to see that the 5th season is the best one. And the one thing that was totally different about the 5th season is that they whittled the cast completely down. Like, even Helena wasn't in 4/5 of the season, and they got rid of so many people between season 4 and 5. So I just think and it also was a strange choice, considering they went in immediately and they knew there was only going to be 8 episodes and for one season, and they just put so many people in when it really could have been they were confident enough to leave it on a cliffhanger. So they were confident enough that they were going to get a second season. So why wouldn't you maybe just have Dani and Finley and one other main, and then obviously Nat and Gigi too, because the Alice storyline, and then Kiara. It just was, because they're not in every episode too, so it just, to me, I feel as though they were trying quantity over quality, and a lot of it was maybe trying to tick all these boxes instead of really focusing on making some really well-rounded characters. So that's just my personal opinion. Oh, Steph, the weather is so bad here. So bad. It's been snowing since like lunchtime. And the wind, like, it's crazy. Fearful Nature, no, I haven't seen that movie. The World to Come, no. No, I don't think Sherry Jaffe will come back, Lisa. Yeah, Kelly said, I mean, Tibette is what pretty much floated the fandom for 10 years, and they come out of the shoes separating them. I mean, the one that I do think that whole thing with, like, having such a huge cast and, like, trying to tick all these boxes was weird, but the Bette and Tina thing is just, like, why? It makes no sense. Because they tried that in the original to split them up, and guess what? It didn't work, and that's why Eileen Chaikin was like, I need to put them back together. Oh yeah, the Sex and the City reboot. Honestly, like, Sex and the City, like, went to I've told you guys I went to all girls Catholic school, and I went to school in South Tampa, which is like very, hello, like, you guys know that Kaylee McEnany was in my class. Like, they're all, a lot of them, if they weren't, there was like 20 lesbians in my class, and then like a shit ton of Kaylee McEnany's, like, conservative, rich, white, and so all of them were like, not all, but a lot of them were really into like Sex and the City, and obviously I was not interested in that shit. I wanted to watch the L Word, so I really don't like Sex and the City, but I've seen it all because I was forced to watch it basically. And then I made them all watch the L Word, and then I basically listened to like 6 seasons worth of, oh my god, I love Shane, I would date Shane. I'm like, no, you wouldn't.
What is it, babe? What's wrong?
Very worried about the wind here. It's alright, G. Kelly said by taking their approach they wasted the first season. I mean, there is so much that, like, and I think this could go for some, well, for a lot from the original show too. Like, if you think about people like the Mark storyline, and, you know, even to some extent, like, some of the other characters that they brought in, like, like, I think it was good to bring Angus in for someone for Kit, but then, like, the whole cheating thing, like, it just, there's so much stuff like that where it's like, where was that going? Like, who was that for? What was that doing? What story was that bringing forward? Because, what? Gee, she's trying to give me a high five. It wasn't doing anything for anyone, and a lot of it was just wasting time that could have been used to develop other characters, aka we could have got to know some backstory on, like, any of the characters. We could have got to know anything about Tina, that she didn't just, like, pop into existence one day. And I never understood that about the original show. And I think that there's so much of that, like, bleeding into Generation Q. Like, the whole thing with the priest, and why are we being shown this, like, when that character is going to go away and never come back? Like, we could have achieved the same thing through the like with Finley was talking on the phone to her family, and then hopefully what we're going to see next season, and then the whole thing with Finley talking to Tess, like, that was all relevant. And then there's also stuff like the Jose thing. Are we going to get any sort of, like, I just really feel as though with that whole thing, they're just going to be like, oh yeah, Jose actually is still married on paper, but, like, I just can't imagine what possible interesting angle they can take to, like, make all that worthwhile. Oh, hey, Discreeta, glad you can make it. I haven't seen the Aminette thing it's with Kate Winslet and Saoirse Ronan, right? Yeah, I haven't I heard it wasn't very good though. That's what kind of, because I was like, I don't know whether this may be like a controversial thing to say. Maybe no one knows who she is, but I don't know whether anyone knows the YouTuber called Amberlynn Reid. Her girlfriend is like a really big fan of Kate Winslet, and I know they were talking about watching it, so that's how I heard about it. But I haven't actually watched it, but I looked up some reviews and I heard it wasn't very good. I'm not someone who likes like period pieces. It's just not my thing. So I really have a hard time watching stuff like that. Oh, the sound. It's like you can't hear what's going on. I did that, Abe. That is what I had seen. Actually, was like the only thing I like when I'm picturing it in my head. It is them like standing on a beach. Like, I think that's the promotional stuff, is it? I'm so sorry if I mispronounce your name. Sanidi? Said, I hope that Laurel and Jennifer didn't give up on Tibette. Only both they can convince the writers to keep the ship sailing, as they did before in the OG series. Yeah, I mean, if you go back to my Generation Q reviews of like episode 6 and 7, I've linked like articles in the drop down of the videos that there are like loads of interviews with Laurel and Jennifer, and they're the ones that really, really are always saying, like, still to this day, that they do want Bette and Tina back together, and that, I mean, they didn't say that it's definitely going to happen, but they said that they hope it happens. Oh, bye, Kelly. Thanks for coming. Have a good rest of the weekend, too. I keep feeling like it's Friday now because we're here. But obviously, tomorrow's already Sunday. Well, I think Miss G and I are going to wrap up unless anyone else has anything else they want to ask or talk about. I think with those Showtime accounts, the best thing that we can do is just think for a second that just think they are choosing this chaos, or like, what are they trying to get us to do, like, you know, with controversial things and stuff, like, and again, maybe that's thinking too much into it, and maybe they just really haven't watched the show. Oh, Robinson. She'll be back next week. Hey, Ale. Miss G is like making herself a little nest here next to me. Well, guys, I hope that next week we get some more info. I will let you know, of course, the second anything new happens. If anybody is going to leave a message on the Pants podcast for Kate and Leisha, don't be afraid to drop in there and say, please go on the YouTube channel, please go on the L Word channel with Ash Silver. The message I leave for them, I'm gonna record it so I can share it with you guys. And yeah, obviously this week, sorry, we only had pictures. There wasn't too much going on, but hopefully it can only get better, right? We can only get more info. But thank you guys so much for coming. You know that it makes my week chatting to you all, so thank you so much. And stay really safe. Miss G and I are probably not going anywhere tomorrow because of the snow, but we are just gonna watch some TV and movies and just stay nice and warm. But thank you so much for coming. Be good, be safe. Don't forget to give the video, if you enjoyed the stream, give it a like because it really helps it out. And if you're not already subscribed, what are you doing with your life? Subscribe to the channel. Get me closer to 5,000 subscribers, because in 2 weeks I'm going to talk to my tattoo artist about our project. But be good, be safe, take care of yourselves. Please be safe, and I'll see you all next week, and I'll have my season 6 episode 1 review up tomorrow or Monday. So love you guys, be good, take care, and see you soon. Bye guys.